in the middle of Mass, the priest, Pastor Father Ryan, approached me to notify me that if I did not comply with the Mass, that he was going to call the police to have me arrested, which he did so. So
the pastor says, he actually said he's going to call the police.
Correct, yes.
Amazing. Amazing. So this was before Mass?
This was in the middle of Mass.
In the middle of Mass.
Yes. The police showed up upon my return from Holy Communion.
Okay.
There were 3 police officers at my chair waiting for me.
What's the church? Holy Trinity?
Holy Trinity,
Dallas.
yes.
Here we go.
Sir, please back up. Please back up.
6 feet.
Ma'am, I'm going to put you in handcuffs if you don't stand up.
Let's see this.
Am I getting arrested?
No, not right now. But if you don't listen, you will be.
And what would be the reason?
So if I can pause here, Deirdre, she says, I'm going to put you in handcuffs.
Correct.
Is that right? I mean, that's crazy. Are you like kneeling down here? I mean, what's going on?
I am kneeling. I had just received communion. I was holding my 1-year-old baby, and I still had the Eucharist on my tongue, actually. So when I saw the police officers standing at my chair, they hadn't said anything quite yet, so I immediately just kind of knelt as quickly as I could. That was my priority, and
Of course.
I was
You're a Catholic. You're a Catholic.
I was trying to focus on what was most important and kind of leave the drama behind. But of course, within seconds, she actually grabs my arm
Okay.
in the middle of my prayer and tries to lift me up and yank me up. So
Yes, they don't want y'all here.
What's the crime?
The business, the church, does not want y'all here because you're
So she's saying, you say, what's the crime? And she says, the church does not want you here.
yes, she also says trespassing.
Okay. So she says, you're trespassing. Let's
Because I am trespassing by attending Mass, correct?
unbelievable.
not to follow the rules.
It's not a law.
Please leave now.
It's not a law. I'm not breaking. Oh, yes, it is. This is a
I'm
business.
not breaking
ma'am.
a crime.
Please,
It's a
let's go. Let's
business.
just go. Come on, let's
It's
go.
a business. But they do not want you
This is
here.
already, it's already out of hand. Let's just go.
So you're saying I'm not breaking a law. This is not a crime. And she says, yes, it is. It's a business. She says that 2 times. It's a business.
Yes, correct. She continued to say that after we stepped outside as well.
You know, Deirdre, I've been reading the Gospels lately, getting ready for Good Friday and Easter. And, you know, when Christ clears the temple, he says, you've made my house into a den of thieves. Business. Church is not a business.
Correct.
Church is a place for prayer, sacrifice, learning the Word of God, receiving the sacraments. I mean, this is completely ridiculous. And I guess the priest is back up on the altar here?
So this actually was the main pastor who called the police on me, but the assistant priest was giving the Mass, celebrating.
I see. Okay. I'm going to continue to run it here.
That's your ID on you?
No, I'm at church.
You have a picture of ID? Any ID? Yeah, we got it.
Oh, wait, what's your last name?
Harrison.
Spell it. Actually,
The usher himself took it upon himself to run to my car and take pictures of my license plate. They write me up a ticket for trespassing. He's yelling in the background, write her up, write her up. Honestly,
The usher.
The usher.
Shame.
And he's almost kind of reminding me of, not to flatter myself, but like crucify her.
Right.
Her. I mean, they were just going for the jugular at that point. We had complied. We had left. As I said, at this point of the Mass, it was communion had been distributed. It's towards the end of Mass, and I was socially distanced, and it really just proves.
You have a baby.
I have a baby in my arms. It just proves all the more that this is all a political statement, and it's about complying
Right.
and agreeing. It's not about health, and that
And
was made
what's
very-
sad is that it's the pastor and the usher. Or is that usher or deacon? What would you say there? Usher?
Usher.
Yeah, the
Usher.
pastor and the usher are calling the cops on you. You're a daughter of the Catholic Church, you still have the Eucharist, Jesus Christ, still in you, and you're being cast out. This is the danger right now in America, that the government and the police and the mayors and the governors and the president are going to say the church is just a business.
Correct.
Once we lose that ground, the church is just a business. Everybody watching right now, you are in big trouble.
I couldn't agree more. I told her, I said, this isn't McDonald's. This is a sanctuary. This is a place
Right.
of worship. This isn't a business.
Unbelievable.
And I believe actually that the church itself, if I did my research after the fact, is owned, even though it's run by Vincentians, by the bishop. So only
Correct.
he himself could have technically accused me of
Yeah,
trespassing.
he has the ordinary jurisdiction over that. So yeah, he would have to call the trespass. And I can't believe, did you actually get a ticket for trespassing?
Yes, I'm never allowed back on the property again, or I will be.
And is
arrested.
there a fine?
There was no fine.
Okay.
Not to say that there wouldn't have been had I stuck around,
Right.
a minute longer.
So if you go back to that church, you're going to be arrested. That's what's up.
Correct. They made that very clear. Yes.
Really, I think what the problem was is our priest was verbally abusing my wife.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, she's pregnant.
The business requires that you wear these things, that you do these things. The mask is just like the reason why you have
But
to
this
wear
is a 501c3, not an LLC. Or a
Good
C4
point by your husband right
so-
there. And I want everyone watching to realize that we have really turned a corner. Here in Texas, the governor of Texas says it is not required.
Our own government is more lenient at this point than our church, and that's a problem.
Yeah, the government is more. If you did this at a coffee shop, no one would call the police on you, Deirdre.
No, I say that a lot. I think I'm every Sunday, whether at this point we're kind of having to church hop now with the situation, that you're more likely to get treated with Christian charity and grace, at a Taco Bell than you are at church, unfortunately. Because if you don't wear the mask and they allow you not to wear the mask, they still treat you like a leper. They still
Right.
treat you like you're a bandit. And I'm not a bandit. I may be a sinner, but I'm not a
Right.
bandit. I'm here fulfilling, my obligatory duty to attend mass on
Yes.
Holy Sunday.
Yes.
And to be treated like a criminal, to get threatened with arrest, put in handcuffs, it's just absolutely egregious. And I think people need to wake up to realize that this is happening. This is the state of our church right here, right now. And we need to stand up. The church belongs to us. We are the laity. That priest, the church doesn't belong to him.
Right.
He is, and so we can't allow for these things to happen. And not one person in the church flinched when this was all occurring.
That's
not
what
one person.
I can't believe that no one came to your defense or your rescue in the church. I mean, shame on the Catholics here in Dallas.
Me too. I was shocked.
Forget these churches if this is what they're going to do. No money, no dimes, no pennies, nothing. No attendance, no volunteers, nothing.
I agree. I mean, the bishop still, it's been over a year, and our Bishop Edward Burns, has yet to lift the obligation of Sunday Mass. You're still able to just
Right.
live stream the whole thing. I think it's cowardly. I think it shows a lack of courage, a lack of wisdom. I mean, at this point, I'm still denied receiving the sacraments. I'm in a state of grace. I'm a practicing Catholic.
Right.
That is against canon law,
It
and
is.
they don't care. It's not about me. I was feeling lightheaded, which was one of the main reasons I wasn't wearing the mask. They don't care.
No.
They'd rather have me, a pregnant mom, faint
Right.
than be disobedient to them, and that's really what this is all about. And I go along with this everywhere I go. I have to. And church is not the place I'm wanting to play these,
Right.
communist games with these people. I just can't.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you, Deirdre, and on behalf of all the other Catholics, I'm sorry that this happened to you, and we stand behind you. And I think that your story hopefully will inspire other people to defend our pregnant women, our nursing women, our vulnerable ones, and say, enough is enough. You can't bully us. The priests and the deacons and the bishops, they were ordained to preach and to rule and to govern and to administer the sacraments of the church. The church has spoken. There is a tradition, and we as Catholics observe what we have received, not what a local pastor or deacon or usher just wants to enforce at that moment. Can't be run that way.
Correct. Yes. And I think if people don't stand up and say something, they're going to continue with this behavior, continue with this control.
Yep.
And it's up to us, like I said, as the laity, to put a stop to this, because they're not going to stop if we don't say something and stand up against all this tyranny, honestly.